Hi guys, I welcome you all to EduTap, and here we have brought for you the fresh fast track series which is important for RBI Grade B 2019 and NABARD Gr A 2019. Now this is a video series which is going to cover your important current affairs and has been brought to you by EduTap. And let me just tell you about this series first of all. So in this series we are going to cover the economics and social issues current affairs which are important for RBI as well as the NABARD examination, and also we'll be covering finance current affairs from both these exams. Now also let me just mention that for agriculture and rural development in news, that is ARD, which is specifically important for the NABARD examination, we are covering all those news in a separate video which is about the ARD in news. So you'll have to refer to those videos particularly for ARD section. Okay, now let me tell you about our previous results, since we have been working in this field from quite some time now and we have been blessed with some great results. So in RBI Grade B 2017, 27 of our students got selected in the final list, and in the NABARD Gr A exam of 2018, the result of which has recently been announced, 20 of our students could make it to the final list. And let me tell you that total generalist seats were only 46, and out of 46 you can see the ratio that our result was 20. And we are also expecting a great result with the RBI Grade B 2018 examination. Okay, so proceeding to our lecture, we are going to cover the ESI in news first, and then we'll move on to the finance in news. We are going to cover 3 days from September, that is September 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so our very first news is related to Rashtriya Poshan Mah. Now let me just tell you that this is known as the National Nutrition Month, and September 2018 has been designated as the Rashtriya Poshan Mah across the India, which is being celebrated. So let me just tell you that we will read about this particularly Poshan Abhiyan, and this news entails that Srimati Menaka Gandhi, the Minister of Women and Child Development, has basically urged the ministers of the partner ministries and MPs to lend their support to this Rashtriya Poshan Mah. And Minister of Health and Family Welfare is one such partner ministry. And let us see about the particularly important thing, that is Poshan Abhiyan. Let us now talk about Poshan Abhiyan. It was launched by our Prime Minister in the month of March, and it was launched in Jhunjhunu district of Rajasthan. This is important for us to remember, particularly that it was launched in which district. And then Abhiyan particularly targets to reduce stunting, undernutrition and anemia. Now these are the various problems which are being faced by the children, women and the citizens of our country. And also it targets to reduce the low birth weight, and these are the values by which they have to be reduced, that is 2% for stunting, undernutrition again 2%, then anemia by 3%, and then birth weight again by 2%. So the target of this mission is basically to bring down stunting among the children which are in the age group of 0 to 6 years. Now this is again very much important for us, and the Poshan Abhiyan is particularly also important apart from the Rashtriya Poshan Mah. So our next news is related to the technology initiative which has been brought by the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, particularly for the coffee stakeholders. Now see, the Minister of Commerce and Industry and Civil Aviation, Suresh Prabhu, has launched this app called as Coffee Connect, and its extension service which is called as Coffee Krishi Tarang. So Coffee Connect app has been developed to ease the work of field functionaries so as to improve the work efficiency. So you see, basically all the stakeholders would be connected through this app, and all the solutions would be provided to the coffee growers, and the geotagging, etc. All the details which are useful would be available in this app. Similarly, the Coffee Krishi Tarang services, which have been said as the extension of this coffee app, so these are aimed at providing the customized information and productivity increasing targets of this particular service. Now customized service are two ways as in that from both the sides the reply can be expected, and 24/7 service support. So now this is again very much important. So you have to know that Coffee Krishi Taranga services is related to increasing the productivity and profitability of this particular crop. Okay, another technology infrastructure related news. So Internet Society, ISPI, so these two organizations have joined hands to secure internet infrastructure in India. So internet infrastructure would be secured through these apps in a bid to make internet safe and secure in India. This US based organization, which you can see the name here, ISPAI, will look into the securing routers, which is vital for healthy internet infrastructure. Let me just tell you that as India is moving towards a digital revolution and we are trying to make India itself an IT hub at the world level, that is, the India has, although it is the leader in these services, but the data storage is not so there in India. So as to just, you can say, a prelude to all such steps is that if first of all the internet infrastructure is present in India. Okay, so next, another important news is here. The Health Ministry has released the draft charter of patients' rights. Now see, this is very important as the government is trying to come up with the scheme so that the patients can be given various rights, and this charter is particularly related to that. So Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has released this draft charter, and the important thing which we need to note down is that this charter has been prepared by National Human Rights Commission. So now you know that this is important for us, and basically under this charter various outlines have been given so that the state governments can come up with their mechanisms which prevent and give the rights to the patients. Okay, so now another important news, this social section news. There was this National Clean School Award and it has been given away by the HRD Ministry, and the first position has been bagged by Puducherry. So basically 52 schools all over the country have been given with this given this award, and the top position has been bagged by the Puducherry. So Puducherry has secured the first place with 7 schools, and it is important to note down that apart from Puducherry, the neighboring state Tamil Nadu has bagged the second position. Now this is also important. So the third position was finally shared by Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. Now apart from these top 3 positions, we have to note down the most important position which has been bagged by Jharkhand. So you see, Jharkhand is basically trying to improve on all the parameters, and recently in the cleanliness survey also Jharkhand was appreciated. So it has bagged the 4th position along with Haryana, Maharashtra and Rajasthan. So Jharkhand becomes important for us, and this entire National School Cleaning Award is also important, and the ministry is HRD. Okay, so this again education section news which is related to HRD Ministry again. Now they have released this curriculum on the experiential learning. So this experiential learning curriculum is about Gandhiji's Nai Talim. Now let me just tell you, see, Gandhiji was a supporter of the education of the children, but not only through books but through experience. So the vocational education was focused by Gandhiji, that is, he wanted students to be aware of the other skills as well as apart from their books, that is, he wanted children to be sure about what are their interests and they could develop various other skills. Now based on this, another important step is that this particular curriculum and the book has been released, and both these things are related to the Gandhiji's Nai Talim. Now see, it has been released in all 13 languages so that all the people can have access to it, and you can see as the 150th birthday of Gandhiji is approaching, that is 2nd October, so it is very important. It is 2nd October 2019, I need to just mention here. So with these upcoming birthdays of Gandhiji, it is becoming important. The various schemes like Swachh Bharat Mission is also culminating on this day. So similarly, this Nai Talim scheme. Okay, now this is related to our section, that is International Women Entrepreneur Summit took place in Nepal. Now see, this Entrepreneur Summit has taken place in Kathmandu, and the theme was equality begins with economic empowerment. And you know that is true. If women are not empowered economically, then how can equality be there? So that is what this theme tells, and it was organized by South Asian Women Development Forum. So this organization becomes important here, South Asian Women Development Forum. you can just read about this forum I have mentioned for you guys, and basically it is providing a single platform so that various business leaders, service providers, professionals, even ministers can go and participate and then brainstorm about what more to come up with the women entrepreneurs. So that was about it. Let us move on. Another important news is here, GM mustard. So this genetically modified mustard may get the nod soon. Now see, although this particular news is not that much important, but we need to know about the background, that is the genetically modified crops and what is basically about them. So this DMH11, which is known as Dhara mustard hybrid 11, it's a genetically modified variety of the herbicide tolerant mustard. So there's this herbicide tolerant mustard which has been modified genetically. Now the 3 genes which were included are, you can see the name here, it's a bar gene, bar anise and bar star. So these are the 3 genes which were included, and secondly we need to know that it was prepared by the team of scientists from the Delhi University. So Ashok Pental was basically the leading scientist here, and a system of genes has been used from the soil bacterium so that it can be made tolerant now. So the approval is still awaited, as the only crop which has been approved by GEAC, the apex organization for these approvals, is there's only one crop, that is the cotton, BT cotton crop. And recently there was this survey as well that India has the 5th largest area in the world which is under the genetically modified crops, and the only crop which is grown in India is at a commercial level is cotton. So that is just to add on to this information, and let us just move on. Okay, another important scheme for us is here, that is Swadesh Darshan scheme. Now see, we will see about this scheme. Let us now first see what this news entails for us. So Tourism Ministry has passed this scheme for developing the cruise tourism in Kerala. You see, Kerala was basically devastated by the floods. So in order to boost the tourism and raise money as well, the Ministry of Tourism has sanctioned 80.37 crore for this cruise tourism, and particularly the channel is Malabar Cruise Tourism. So whenever you get to know, you have to know that this cruise channel is under the scheme development for the Swadesh Darshan. And the thematic cruises are being developed under these thematic. Basically there will be a particular theme which is related to some subject, so that more tourist attraction can be gained. Now let us see about Swadesh Darshan scheme. So scheme was launched by Union Tourism Ministry. The objective is to build the theme-based circuits in the country, and let me tell you that 13 thematic circuits have been identified. You have to go through them. They vary from Buddhist circuit, Eco circuit, Krishna circuit, Ramayana. So all these circuits have been identified based on the themes. So you can just go through this slide also. Okay, so that was about our ESI in news, and now let us proceed to the finance in news for the past 3 days. Okay, so our next news which is related to ESI section is about the BSE's index. So before proceeding, let me just tell you that BSE is Asia's first exchange, and it is also considered as the oldest exchange in India. Now as we have 2 important exchanges, that is Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. Though NSE is considered in terms of the stock value is more, but BSE is considered important because it is the most established exchange and it is the world's 10th largest stock exchange. So this index called as Asia Index Private Limited, it's a venture of S&P Dow Jones Indices and BSE Limited. So these 2 are basically collaborating for Asia Index Private Limited, and they have announced this index which has been designed to measure the performance of the private banks. So you see, we can relate this news is that if government is trying to pull up the socks and be ready for the government, the PSU banks, so private banks are also being measured on this index. So the constituents would be derived from the finance index, and the only common stocks classified as banks by the BSE are not classified under the script category. So you can just go through this, and this is about this private banks index. And our last news from this particular section is about the advanced pricing agreements. Now first let me tell you that APAs, or the advanced pricing agreements, are aimed at avoiding transfer pricing disputes. It's basically when between the two entities this agreement is already signed, so that after a certain time there's no dispute over the pricing. So that is why they are important, and they are usually used in the cross-border transactions under the MNCs. So MNCs, as you can see, the global world we have. So MNCs which are working in different countries, they follow this advanced pricing agreements. So the annual report for fiscal year 2018 has been released by the Central Board of Direct Taxes. So CBDT has reported that 219 APAs resulted in MNCs accepting an extra income of 10,000 crore. So you can see that if the income for MNCs is such great, then the taxes will also be great. That is that 10,000 crore translated into a tax of rupees 3,000 crore. So this is important for us. You guys have to read about advanced pricing agreements more, and this is important particularly. So that's it guys, that was about the ESI and finance in news from the past 3 days of September. In case you guys have any query related to these exams or the courses which are being offered by us, you must visit our website www.edutap.co.in, and here's our contact number 8146207241. You can even WhatsApp on us on this number, or you can drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in. And guys, just to mention that this is the link of the Telegram channel. It is also mentioned in the description below. You can just go there and download the PDF of this particular video or the other lectures as well. So I would just like to say that if you like this video, please do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you guys. Have a happy learning.